Hey guys, it's ChaosMaelstrom here, and welcome back to more Disgaea Hour of Darkness. Well, kind of. This is a bonus episode, actually, because I'm already done with the game. So, this bonus episode will be talking about all the post-game stuff that I didn't cover in-game. So if there's something I didn't mention in-game, I'm probably going to mention it here. If during this video I don't mention something, then post a comment down below, and then I will hopefully edit it into the video as an annotation. Okay, so let's begin by going over some of the stuff I didn't show. There are 3 more remaining promotion exams. The promotion exam I didn't do has 3 dragons in it. 2 base dragons and an Ozzy Dahaka at level 100. The next one, I believe, has 3 succubi and a Nosferatu. And the last promotion exam, which you need to pass every available bill in the game, you have to defeat 4 zombie kings, as well as the base class for the Great Worm. I believe that's everything. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me down in the comments. Okay, now for the other stuff that I didn't really talk about. First off, let's talk about the Cave of Ordeals and grinding. Some of this stuff post-game needs you to be crazy high level in order to get, or do. So, how would you be able to somehow get this powerful? Well, I'll tell you. First things first. The Cave of Ordeals, Stage 3. It has a 3x3 square of galactic demons on it. They are also on an EXP plus 100% or 50%. I can't remember panel, so this is the best grinding stage in the game. What you want to do is just have a character that has an attack range, preferably like Big Bang or Winged Slayer, and just use that, reload the stage, and need I say it anymore? Statisticians. Fill your item slots with them. Get all legendary items. Fill all the slots with statisticians. If you can kill all the enemies there, your levels will shoot up to the thousands in no time. Also, for clearing the Cave of Ordeals, you get a nice reward. One of the enemies in the Cave of Ordeals 5, which is the last part of the Cave of Ordeals, is equipped with an Arcadia. This is the best emblem in the game. If you steal it, which means the enemy that's holding it is around at level 1000, so you really want to be patient enough to get a thief up to that level, or otherwise just try tossing it around and use your 1% chance of stealing it to your advantage. Then do that. Good luck trying to get a thief up to anywhere near level 1000. Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about exploring the item world. Now, I've already went over the item world briefly in my LP, specifically 2 episodes near the beginning. Well, actually, in episode 3. Not in-game episode 3, not LP episode 3. Yes, I explored the item world then, and you already know the gist of it. Of course, we only went down 10 floors there, so I'm going to tell you about the item world now. So, the item world has some of the strongest enemies in the game. It can have the strongest randomly generated enemies in the game, depending on how tough you go into the item world. There you can just encounter random enemies at level 9,999 if you're in the right item and you go deep enough. So, while I'm talking about that, let me talk about the types of item commanders you will find. On levels 10, 20, 40, 50, and 70, and 80, you will encounter an item general. Item kings appear on levels 30, 60, and 90. And the item god appears on level 100, the bottom floor. Depending on what sort of weapon you're in, it will be an item god or an item god 2, which is even stronger. I will get to the difference between that in a minute. I'm not quite sure about the differences myself, but we will get to that. Okay. Straying away from the item world for just a minute now. You already know most of my strategies for the item world. If there's something on an island, then you can just use a spell to go get it. Also, the Dark Cannon with the Scout has the longest attack range in the game. So I would also recommend using that if you can actually get it strong enough level. Okay, for completing the Cave of Ordeals, you also get the God's Hand, which is the second strongest fist in the game. You probably really want this. The God's Hand is an unlockable item. It is very strong. And get a legendary one if you can, for reasons I will explain later. The Hyperdrive Shoes. Oh my god. That's probably your reward for having so much patience. You have to enter an item worlds and go down to level 100 without exiting and defeat the item god 2. You have to start over from base floor 1 if you do. If you get the Hyperdrive Shoes, they are amazing. Why? Because your movement gets boosted to 99. You can literally teleport to any square on the map. Everything that spawns on one of those little islands in the item world now, there's no way that thing's getting away from you now. The Longinus Spear is the second strongest spear in the game. What you have to do is have a character whose spear mastery is 25 or higher. I usually think it's 30, but it's either 25 or 30. So, what you have to do is enter the Dark Assembly and then exit immediately. I would just go to past the raised military funds bill and then just exit without even trying to pass it. Then what you do is go and speak to Longinus, the spear, in the middle of the castle, who gives you a tutorial for weapons. He will join you as a weapon. He will automatically be a legendary with a rarity of 0, which means he's probably the strongest Longinus spear you will ever encounter. Also, you might want to think about getting that Testament. I already went over how to get that item. Okay, now for something that is really probably one of the hardest things in the game to get, aside from the Hyperdrive Shoes. Ultimate Weapons! They are extremely hard to get. The only way to get them is to have a legendary semi-ultimate weapon, which means you must have a legendary God's Hand for fist, Cosmic Blade for sword, Longinus for spear, Artemis for bow, Infernal Gun for gun, Durandal for axe, Galactic Staff for staff. You must enter that item, go all the way to the bottom floor, floor 100, and steal it from the item god 2. Yeah, you have to steal it with a thief. Let me tell you right now, having to do that is not worth having the ultimate weapons unless you have no life or for some reason you really, 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 really want it. Because who the hell would ever have enough patience to get a thief up to level 9,999 or whatever? No one. I'll tell you that right now. No one. The ultimate weapon for the fist is the Ultimus. Ultimate sword is Yoshitsuna. Ultimate spear is Glorious. Ultimate bow is Galaxy. Ultimate gun is Étoile. Ultimate axe is Apocalypse. And ultimate staff is Omniscient Staff. There are also ultimate monster weapons, which I will be getting to later. Don't worry. We have plenty of time to talk about that. Okay, time to talk about unlocking extra maps, super bosses, and extra characters. So the first unlockable map, which I think is probably the easiest, would have to be Prettyland. This is unlockable in Episode 9, after you have finished Episode 8. There is a bill in the Dark Assembly that will become available after you have a high enough rank, I believe, to pass it. It is a very easy map. It is completely full of printies. However, there is one catch. These printies don't explode when thrown. Yeah, I believe there are 3 stages total to it. At the very last stage, there is a Printy God. This is, I believe, the highest tier class of Printy, if not the second highest. But still, it is strong, and I believe you can also get Testaments there, which is a good idea, if you want those. Cave of Ordeals, I already talked about that, but to unlock it, you get a high enough rank and pass the bill. Yeah, that should be easy enough. Okay. Now, the next unlockable map that I find the easiest is the Human World map. This is only unlockable in the last episode of the game, after you pass it, you are able to actually go to the human world. And there's, I believe, a couple more stages for you there. There's also an alternate final boss, kind of. It's for getting another ending in the game. You fight General Carter as Astro Carter, who is just a green Prism Ranger. By finishing this, you get the Overthrowing Earth ending. One of my favorite endings in the game. Because not only do you sort of get revenge on Carter, but you also pretty much rule the Earth. Yeah, Gordon sucks at doing his job. Freaking helps the Overlord conquer the Earth. He's the attacker of Earth. Who knows? Okay, I should move on. Okay, next one is an alternate netherworld. You have to get a high enough rank at the Dark Assembly to pass this bill. It is basically a really weird series of stages, and on the 4th stage of it, you have the chance to fight Krier. She is a character from La Piquelle Tactics, another NIS game. And if you defeat her, you will be able to add her to your team. She will be at level 2000, so be aware that it's not an easy task if you're not ready for it. Okay, similar to the alternate netherworld, the Mysterious Seal is another stage that series of stages that you can unlock. What you do here is you clear a few stages, and then you will fight Marjorie. She is a character from another NIS game called Rhapsody, a musical adventure. And she is downright brutal as a character if you're fighting against her, because she has powerful magic spells, so if you're not used to guarding against magic attacks, you're going to have a bad time. She will be at level 3000, I believe, and is all around very tough. And the last unlockable stage I have yet to mention, here we go, Baal's Tower. So you have to defeat all levels of Alternate Netherworld and the Mysterious Seal in order to unlock this place. Now, if you go here, you will break the seal and unleash the Lord of Terror, Baal. Remember when Etna talked about how King Khrushchevskoy died by choking on a black pretzel? Bullshit! He risked his life in order to thwart an invasion from Baal and seal him. That is what killed Khrushchevskoy. And now you have the chance to get back at Baal. Baal is freaking ridiculous. He is level 4000 and has some of the best equipment in the game, including Nemesis, the ultimate monster weapon. So you should just try to steal these weapons as best you can. It is possible because he's not level 9,999, so if you have a character that's even not a thief, that could be useful, but still, if you somehow get a level 9,999 thief, God forbid, might be easiest to do that. But that's the thing. After you defeat Baal, Lahara will gain the title of Lord of Terror, or Tyrant, I'm not sure. But now, if you go back to Baal's Tower after clearing it and defeating Baal, you will fight Uber Prinny Baal. This is the toughest non-item world super boss in the game. And it is no joke. He is more powerful than Baal. He is at level 6000 now, and he holds a grudge. He holds Nemesis Mach 2 as well as some really super powerful armor that is all at max level, so you're going to have a bad time. He's also stronger than the regular Prinny, and no, he doesn't explode when thrown. Sorry. Okay, last thing I need to talk about in this version of the game, Hour of Darkness, are the alternate endings. I mentioned the mid-boss ending before. Simply lose to mid-boss in any of the stages where you fight him. The Flan Tragedy ending where you kill Hogmiser, or at least aim to kill Hogmiser. I've already mentioned that before. Well, sort of. I've given you guys a choice about that. Etna Heroine ending. I already mentioned that before. Again, similar to the Flan Tragedy ending, except you kill Madaris. The human world ending I already mentioned you get by clearing the human world stage. You've already seen the normal ending, where you finish the game with at least one ally kill. The good ending, where you finish the game without any ally kills. The bad ending you get by defeating an item god on the 100th floor of a legendary item, and having at least one ally kill. The Dark Assembly ending is when you get the requirements for the normal ending, similar to the bad ending, but you use Persuade by Force 100 times in the Dark Assembly. If you're having trouble getting people to persuade bills by force, just ask to raise military funds. They'll always say nay. You have to pass a bill 100 times by force in the Dark Assembly, and you need to have at least one ally kill. And I believe that is everything in the PS2 version of the game that is in it. So, does that mean we're done with post-game content? Hell to the no! There's still more stuff I need to talk about. I will meet you guys in my next video, where I talk about Disgaea Afternoon of Darkness.